Hani, welcome to our interviews with club members. Good morning to you from Brno too.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
And I am in Brno. You are in?
Studnice.
And where is Studnice?
It's a small village in Pardubice region, in the south of Pardubice region.
Okay. And for those members who are not so familiar with the Czech Republic, where is Pardubice? How far is it from Prague, for example?
I have no idea. Like 1 hour by train, but I don't know how many kilometers.
It's okay. It's all right. Have you lived there all your life in Studnice?
Yes, except for the time when I was in high school, where I lived in Pardubice in the dorms, and I just traveled back home for weekends.
So, how about you tell us what it is that you did this week? What does that mean? You had too much work.
I am preparing content for Instagram. I am preparing content for YouTube. And I am thinking about or already preparing other projects for a new year. And I'm also working in a startup where we create a flashcards app. So there I am a project manager, and it's other work I have to do.
Wow, when do you sleep? Sounds like a lot.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting because even my boyfriend, who is a workaholic, tells me that I have so much work that he doesn't understand how I can do it. But in my head, it feels like I'm doing nothing. Like I don't know, I have a feeling that I don't do anything and I should do more.
I know that feeling very well. Anybody else is familiar with this feeling? And how many hours do you think you work per week? Do you have any idea?
I would say around 30 or 40, like I don't know how to say it. The exact amount of time without breaks and anything.
Yeah. So. That's a lot. That's a lot. And would you be willing to share how many clients you work with every week? I remember your reel from last week where you were so happy that nobody canceled and you taught everyone that you teach every week. How many people is that?
It's 17 people. I counted it yesterday, but it's only 10 lessons per week because I have groups. So it's not that much, I would say.
Yeah, but you have all these other projects that you're working on, so it's quite a lot, yeah? But you still don't feel like it. Okay. Maybe after this interview you will, because I want to ask you a lot of questions about your work, and maybe if you watch it again, you will realize that you do a lot of things, and maybe the ladies from the club will give you some feedback as well. So once again, welcome. We have a few more people here now. So welcome to another interview with our club member. Hani, you have been with us for how many months now? 4 or 5 months since the Language Teachers Festival, right?
Yes.
I believe, yeah. Why did you join? Why was it something that you wanted to be a part of?
Because when I was in the Language Teachers Festival, it was such a good atmosphere there. It was incredible. And the main reason why I joined was you. Because I don't know how you do it, but you give so much energy and so much inspiration. It just when I was around you, it was amazing. So
That makes me feel so happy. Thank you for sharing that. But I hope that it's not just me, but the other ladies here as well, and the community, and
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
knowledge, the education, and everything that we discuss here. I see a lot of posts this week, a lot of questions on the wall. I like to see that. Ladies, please keep asking, keep sharing. This is how we can help each other and grow. And I chose Hanka because, as I mentioned in my invitation to this webinar, I am just so impressed by all her activities and how successful she is on social media. Such a hardworking teacher and freelancer. So I'm really excited to ask you about all that today. So how about we start with, let me bring you closer. Let me bring you closer. I love your makeup today. When we met before streaming this, when we met, I looked at Hanka and I realized I had no makeup. So I went to my makeup kit and I put a little bit of rouge, a little bit of blush. You look so beautiful today. So
Thank you.
I wanted to bring you closer here. Hani, how about we start with you learning English? How did you fall in love with learning English? And do you speak other languages as well, by the way?
I try to learn Russian,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been a bit struggle for me because I started a year and a half ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I started with apps like Duolingo, Drops, Fluent Forever, and it's been quite lonely, to be honest. But on the other hand, I don't have the motivation to find a teacher and to start learning with someone. So that's like my problem now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I'm A2 in Russian,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
I already also learned French when I was in high school, but I don't know very much from it now. And yeah, I also have some lessons of Italian, Spanish, and that's all, I think. Yes. But that was just basics like I am or I do and so on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And English? How did you learn English? And have you ever lived in an English-speaking country? Why did you fall in love with English so much that you teach it now?
I have never lived in a foreign country. It's
Mm-hmm.
never been my dream because I'm happy where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't know how I fell in love with English actually. I studied at English grammar school in Pardubice,
Mm-hmm.
where we had almost everything in English: math, biology, geography, history, almost every subject in English. So I didn't have a choice other than to love English and to learn in English actually. And then I went to University of Economics. It didn't work, but after I don't know 2 years maybe, I had to start making for a living, and I just knew that I don't want to be an employee because I I just can't follow the rules. I have to do the things my own way.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking what I could do, and because I liked English in high school and knew I knew English quite well, I decided to just try it, to
Mm-hmm.
try teaching English. I
Mm-hmm.
put an advertisement on our town's wall or our town's website. First clients contacted me, and then it was just a snowball effect.
And it was all offline, I suppose, yeah, back
Yeah,
then. How many years ago is this?
was 7 years ago.
7 years ago. So that was all offline, nothing online.
No, I had no idea that I could teach online.
And how is it now, online versus offline? All online?
Yes, I teach only online and I wouldn't go back to offline. This
Why
is
not?
just because this is more convenient, more comfortable. Because in the past, the clients, the students were coming to my house. And back then, it wasn't a problem for me. But now I don't feel good to invite people to my home. So I don't want them here. And it's also more time effective, let's say, because back then I had to travel to their house, they had to travel to my house, but now we just connect on Skype, Zoom, or whatever, and I don't have to set from my house 15 or 20 minutes before the lesson. It's just 5 minutes before it and it's on.
So you mentioned it's more effective for you. Do you think it's more effective for the students?
I believe so.
Do you see a difference between offline and online and the results that people get?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's caused by the online teaching or by my experience, because I didn't teach well at the beginning. I wasn't good, let's say, because I just took a textbook, sent or copied for my students, and we just went exercise by exercise. But now I prepare materials exactly for them, for their needs. We talk about things they like. I don't use textbooks anymore. So I'm not sure if it's if it's like by the online teaching or by my experience.
Okay. Well, it helps us teachers to develop into better professionals, I believe, because we can use so many more resources and also learn from each other, whether the person is in our city or on the other side of the world. And it just, yeah, gets us to better places for students and us teachers. I believe it's both. I see the same progress in my teaching career. I started teaching online many years ago, and the fact that I had so many resources online really helped me to be more creative and focus more on the client. And so I think it goes hand in hand, as you say. Yeah. So, who do you actually work with? Can you tell us a little bit more about your niche, your typical clients? Are they all the same, or do you have different groups? How does that work for you?
Now my typical client is a high school girl or grown-up woman. The age is not important for me, but the important thing is that they are afraid to speak and they had some negative experience with their teachers at school.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why they come to me, because they have low confidence because their teacher tells them that they are not good enough and they will not graduate and so on. And they need someone. I think they don't need actually a teacher. They need a mentor or a psychologist or something like that.
Okay. And what about the adult women? What is their experience? Also bad from language schools, language courses, or school as well?
Yeah, usually from school they have like the old the feeling from old times from the school, that their teacher wasn't teaching well or they didn't enjoy English at all. And we try to find a way how to work on their English in a different way because they are used to writing translations or filling up exercises and so on. So they are always, some of the ladies are sometimes surprised what or how funny or how fun can the English be.
So what do you think are your strengths? What is it that they love about your lessons? What do they tell you?
I think the main characteristics of me is that I really understand them because I felt the same way in high school. And I felt the same way actually last year, that my English is not good enough, and I was so afraid to speak in front of other teachers. It was it was unimaginable for me. So I think that they have the feeling that I really understand their feelings and they feel safe with me.
Yeah, great. Yeah, fantastic. And I would like to share your website now, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Because recently I told you, and I think I shared it in the club as well, that I just love how you say who you work with. And let me just scroll down here. And this is a genius way to go about it. So ladies, you can get inspired. See how Hanka says, who I like to work with. And when you like to work with whatever group of people these are, you're going to be a much more successful teacher, and they will be much more successful students, right? I think this is genius. Do clients ever tell you that they really liked what they saw on your website in this section? And how did you come up with this? Because I have never seen this before.
Nobody ever told me that they read this and it was their reason why they wanted me to teach them. But I don't actually remember how I came up with that. I think I saw some website where they described their projects. It wasn't an English teacher, it was some company, and they described their projects, that what they did, what was it about, and so on. And I don't know, I got inspired, and I did it the similar way.
I love your website. It's so clean, minimalistic, beautiful colors. Who is your web designer? How did you put this together? Did you do it all by yourself?
No, but I helped a lot. My boyfriend did it.
Okay.
We have a Elementor on WordPress, and he does everything in that. And I just know what I want have there, and he comes up with the ideas, with the design, and so on.
It sounds like you are a great team, Hani, with your boyfriend.
Yeah, I think so. We are.
So he's a translator. He's a web designer. Yeah. Did you
also
pick him for these qualities?
No. He's also graphic designer, so he creates posts or the thumbnails for my reels. It's his work. And he creates everything graphic because I'm not good at it. And I didn't pick him for these qualities because we have been together for 11 years.
Okay.
So we met in high school, and
that's before social. Well, 11 years. There was no Instagram, I believe. Facebook,
no, only
yes.
Facebook.
And YouTube, yes, but
Yes.
okay. I'm just kidding. It was a joke, of course, but it's a great team. It really helps, doesn't it, when your partner
Yes.
is so supportive? We had that topic here recently in our club, and I know when I consult with some teachers and their partners are not very supportive or they don't care, it's so much harder. It's so much harder. So you're a lucky one, I would say. Hani, mentioning social media, let's get to this topic because this is actually where I met you. I met you on Instagram. We've been following each other for at least a year, I believe. And I knew about you. I had known about you before you came to the Language Teachers Festival, and I was so excited to finally meet you in person. You are very active, especially on Instagram and YouTube. Am I right? Not so
Yes.
much on Facebook, right? Or LinkedIn.
No, not at all. I don't post on Facebook nor LinkedIn.
Why Instagram and YouTube? Why these?
Because those are the websites that I like to be on. And I think it's very important to like or to enjoy being on the social media that you are posting to, because otherwise you force it and it doesn't feel authentic, I think.
This is so important what you just said. Be where you like it, because then it will look natural, sound natural, and people will feel that you enjoy it instead of pushing it and being there just for attracting clients and not having fun. And you, out of all people that I know, especially from the Czech Republic, you are having a lot of fun on Instagram. You create so many reels and videos. Let me share your Instagram page here and scroll down a little bit. So, ladies, if you're not following Hanka on Instagram yet, please do so. She's got over almost 3,500, 3,402 followers today. That's very impressive, Hani. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what you post on Instagram?
Yeah, I have 3 posts a week because I like, I'm quite crazy. So I like the order of posts, as you can see.
Yeah, you have a very nice looking grid. We call it a grid, yeah.
So I have 2 reels and 1 static post, a graphic post. And I have a strategy for that because before, like a year ago or so, I just posted whatever came to my mind. But now I have a strategy. So one reel is from the life of the teacher. It's on Sunday. And there I try to show people what I do as a teacher. And I also try to connect with other teachers. And I must say that it's working because I have quite a lot of comments from other English teachers, or not only English. And the yellow one, it's connected to my ebook that I give for free, or for the people's email address. So there's always some resource, website, app that they can learn about. And then I give call to action to download my ebook, where they find more resources for learning English. And
Fantastic.
the last one, it's the static post, and it's actually not mine. It's my boyfriend's sister. She does it every week.
This?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything, the phrasal verbs, this mind map, every graphic post that is there, it's hers. And I must say it was a really good decision to delegate one of the posts, because it's not that time consuming, but you have to think about it and you have to prepare it, and it saves me so much time when she does it.
This as well, yeah?
Yes.
The static post. Okay. All right. So that's already 2 people that I know of now that are in your team. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll talk about it a little bit later. Let me stop sharing now and bring you back. Hani, that sounds like a very well thought out strategy. How did you come up with all this? Did you study it somewhere? Did you just follow other successful Instagrammers? That sounds great.
I'm actually going to redo it a bit in the future, because I also want to promote my course for high school students for Maturita. So there will be one more post. But I got inspired on social media. I follow definitely Kája Kachyňová, jak na reklamu a sítě. And I just, I think it's important to be on the social media and to go through all the posts, not all, but go through the posts, through the reels, everything, and also to read the captions or the text below, because it's the post that I make, it's not actually my idea. I always get inspired somewhere, and I just adapt it to my niche.
Okay. What about your videos on YouTube? How can I get there from? Do you have a link on your Insta in Linktree? I am
Yes,
looking.
there's a link to last video.
Yes, I can see it. So I will share that too. I will share your YouTube channel. Why you? Oops, sorry. Why YouTube? Why again YouTube? It's something that you in 2,000 followers. Wow. Subscribers, not followers, subscribers. Okay,
Yeah, it
sorry.
was.
And now I will share it. Here we go. Yeah, go ahead.
It's actually the same reason why I started Instagram. So I loved watching videos. I have always loved it. And I wanted to create videos like, I don't know, 4 years ago. I got the feeling about 4 years ago, but I was too afraid to try. And it took me like 2 years, I think, to get the courage and start doing it. So I always loved it, and I wanted to contribute too.
Okay. Again, very well organized, as you can see, ladies. Look at the graphics, so professional, so many videos. Hani, how much time do you spend on making one video?
Well, it depends on the video. When it's like where I explain some grammar, it's about 4 hours, let's say, with the preparation, with the recording, with the editing, and so on. But when it's, for example, vlog from my holiday or from some trips, it's much more. It's like 6, maybe 7. Because
Wow.
I'm actually embarrassed when I record videos in public. So I create only short clips, like 30-second clips. And when I edit the vlog, I have to put the clips together and then put music, captions, subtitles, and so on. So it takes much more time than a regular video.
4 hours or more, ladies. Yeah, that's how you get to 40 hours per week while teaching 10 courses only, because the rest of the work is marketing. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. And it pays off, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to I have to change my strategy on Instagram, and I'm planning to change it also on YouTube, because my YouTube now doesn't have a purpose. I started it because I liked making videos and I wanted to help people learn English, but I want my channel to work for me, for my business too. And now it's not doing it. So I don't know how yet, but I will change it a bit.
Now, since we are talking about strategies, and we had this post in our club about Instagram, and you wrote a long comment, most of us are quite frustrated, and you not so much. Can you help us a little bit here? Why are we frustrated, and why you are not, and why it's working for you?
I I don't want to be rude, but
Yes.
I think
No, be blunt, please.
okay. It's your problem actually. Because Instagram is changing. The platform is changing all the time. And people think that they can stay in the old ways. But you cannot beat the platform. You just have to adapt. Yeah. So when Instagram now promotes Reels, I just have to make more Reels. That's the idea, basically. So you have to stop trying to fight the platform and adapt.
And make it very interactive, like you do in your stories. Yeah, create quizzes and ask questions and just interact with your followers as much as possible, right?
Yes, yes.
What about comments below posts? Because I know that there are a lot of people who just post something and then they leave. And that's also one of the mistakes that people make, right? Because they're not building the community, they are not engaging with the community. How does that work for you?
I did it too, actually. That I posted something and I left and I came back the other day or so. And I think you have to make people feel that they are important for you. Yeah. So when they post a comment to your post, it's because they like your content and they like you, and you have to make them feel that you also like them. So that's why I try to reply to every comment I get, even if it's like only an emoji or a heart or whatever, because I feel like that they feel that they are important for me. And they actually are. It's the important thing to not just fake it, but be authentic.
Yes, yes, yes. And love it. Yeah. And then it shows in the energy. Absolutely. I also know that a lot of teachers started complaining in the past year about their followers being mainly other language teachers. Is it also your case, or do you manage to attract a lot of non-teachers to your Instagram and YouTube?
I think I have much more students than teachers.
Wow, well done.
But I also, as I said before, I try to engage other teachers too, because I feel like it's important to be part of some community as we have here. And I try to like create some sort of it on Instagram.
Yeah. So, Hani, now the most important question. How do you turn your followers into customers? That's another thing a lot of us have been frustrated by. There are a lot of people who just follow. They take a lot of this free stuff that we offer, but they never become customers. What is your view on this? And how do you turn followers into customers?
I think you have to give them the things for free because you build trust via these free things, and then they will buy from you.
Yes.
But people don't buy from strangers.
Exactly.
It's when you imagine yourself buying something like a course or an ebook, you have to know the person.
Yeah.
It's not the same with, for example, electronics, of course, because you buy from the big companies. But with these more personal stuff, I would say you have to know the person and trust them. So you have to build the trust, and you do that via the free stuff. And I thought that this is automatic, like that you post something for free, you build the trust, and they automatically buy from you. But actually, it doesn't work that way, at least for me. Maybe for some other people it does. But now I get to my newest course,
Yes.
Conversation for Introverts.
Yes.
I created a Google form. I put it on my website. I created a landing page with buttons to the Google form. And I thought that I would just put the link in the Instagram stories. People will fill up the form, and that will be it. I just create invoice and I have students in the groups. So I couldn't be further from truth because actually only 3 people filled in the form, and the rest, 9 more people, I had to convince via emails, via messages on Instagram or Messenger, or in YouTube comments and so on. So I think it's not automatic, definitely. And I think that people want personal approach. So they want to get in touch with you before they join your course, and they want some information from you personally.
Yes. When you say convince, how do you convince people to join your course in personal messages and emails?
I try to tell them benefits that the course has for them.
Yeah.
And I just don't push them. I always say like the benefits, what is it about, how I do it, and I add, it's up to you. I don't want to push you. Just let me know.
Yes. Very important. Very important. Yes. If you like this, let me know, and maybe then mention the deadline when the course starts, right? Okay. Do you have any special phrases that you use that we could get inspired by? What to say to those who are undecided?
I don't think so. I think it depends on the thing you are offering. So you have to. I wouldn't describe the facts like it's 10 weeks,
Yeah.
it's on Zoom, and so on. But I would try to describe or tell them really the benefits that the course has for them. So you lose the fear of speaking, for example. Yeah. You will be more confident. You will learn vocabulary from this field, whatever it is. Because people don't want to know the facts. They don't care about
and
how
they can see it. They can see it on the website as well, yeah, on the sales page.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the benefits are important.
Yeah. What the results will be, how they will feel. So please tell us about your new project, these group courses for introverts. How did you come up with it? Why group courses for introverts?
It's a long story, to be honest.
Okay.
So it started 2 years ago, actually, when I started my YouTube channel. I promoted via Google Ads or YouTube Ads. And I got many subscribers from that, but also haters. And they started to write me comments about my pronunciation, my English, and how can I teach when I pronounce mustn't, for example, and so on. And I was so frustrated that I wanted to quit the YouTube. But then I'm not a quitter. So I always have to finish the things. Because for me, when I quit, it's a failure, and I can't fail. So I decided that I will do something with it. And I found a native speaker on italki, where I started to work on my pronunciation. And her offer was conversation practice for introverted and shy. And when I saw this, I knew exactly that this is what I want. Because I was so afraid to find someone, because I'm an introvert and I don't feel comfortable around new people. So when I saw this was the offer I was looking for. And after a year and couple months, I saw an offer from Bára Imrišková, Conversation for Teachers.
Hello, Baru.
And I saw this a year ago in autumn for the first time, but I was too afraid to join because there would be other teachers. They will hear my mistakes. They will laugh at me. They will, I don't know, say something about me on social media that I'm bad and so on. I don't know everything I imagined. But in winter, I joined and I found out that it's actually not that way, that other teachers don't laugh at me.
We don't hate on each other. We just don't. That's not what we are like, because we are like you. And you don't hate on other people, yeah? So, yeah.
And Bára has a small group of only 3 or 4 students, and that was when I was comfortable. When it's more people, I'm afraid to contribute. I just stay behind and listen and don't say anything. And I organized also in winter or in spring, I organized a group conversations for free on Instagram. And I told about it in the course of Bára. And they told me why not to make it paid. So I started thinking about it. And I also joined Klára Pirklova's 10 Weeks for Your Project, where I started working on it in, I don't know, spring or so. And it came to existence in October.
And now you're running how many groups?
4 groups.
Right? 4 groups, and they're all full. You sold them out.
No. I have one group where there are only 2 people because they begged me to open it only for 2 of them.
Because they're introverts. They're happy, yeah? It's just the 2 of them. Okay.
But I must say it was a mistake, I think. I wouldn't do it again for 2 people.
Why?
Because it takes so much effort from me. When I have an individual student, we just have a conversation about their life, about their problems. And when I have 3 or 4 people, they like talk to each other.
Yeah.
But when I have only 2 people, they don't talk to each other. It's not that many people, and it requires my work. I don't mind teaching, of course, but I feel like I need to push, or I need to ask so
many more questions.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. And I have to not push them, but to make them speak more and so on. So I wouldn't open it for 2 people again.
Petya is here and says how different it is for 2 people. I have the same experience, and it's definitely also not my favorite way of teaching 2 people, either individual or a group, but not a couple. I remember at the very beginning, I was also teaching couples, a few couples, and that was hell. And then I said, I will never teach couples anymore because they bring in their fights from home, or even when it was like best friends, it's always weird, just strange energy. And one always does more than the other. And yeah, just a really, very, really strange energy. And on the other hand, when the people don't know each other, they only learn more about each other in the group, and they're always focused on each other. There are no other people in the group. Yeah, what if they don't like each other? Like, what do you do with that? Yeah, right. Okay. Did you have any experience teaching groups prior to this, apart from the free convo on Instagram?
I taught kids for 1 school year, and it was like 15 kids in a group in the 1st grade and 2nd grade. And
wait, you don't teach kids anymore, do you? You don't.
No,
I know you say that on your website. If you're under 15, not.
Yes.
I'm not here for you.
Exactly. And it was horrible. That's why I stopped teaching kids, because I don't understand them, let's say. Or I understand what they want, but I cannot provide it because they need fun, and they need movement, they need a lot of energy, and I don't do that. So that was a horrible experience for me. And I also taught 1 course for FCE in our local grammar school, and it was also like 16 people there, and it was in person, so in a classroom in school. And it was also such a horrible experience because I was so afraid. I was shaking like crazy. The first lesson, I couldn't even talk properly. It was horrible.
How does an introverted teacher teach a group of 16 people?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. But I thought that it would be a good experience. So I agreed. It was via language school, and I taught only, I don't know, 3 lessons, because then COVID came and it got cancelled.
Saved you. COVID saved you. So now it's actually your first time when you are creating groups of adults, and you are enjoying it, I suppose, from what I understand from other conversations with you. You like it, yeah? So how do you know how to teach a group if you never really did it before, if you hadn't done it before?
I don't know. I got inspired in Bara's course.
Okay.
So I do it a similar way, let's say. I only adapt it for the lower levels.
Yeah.
So I create a handout for them with the activities that we are going to do during the lesson. And also with vocabulary that might come in handy in the lesson. I send it to them prior to lesson, like 3 days before, because I want them to prepare for the lesson. It's also
Do they
yes,
prepare? Yeah, wow.
all of them.
Because it's a small group, so they would feel a bit embarrassed, I think, if they didn't prepare, right?
Yes. Yes, I was amazed that all of them prepared every single lesson.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's an achievement. I'm sure that means you're a good teacher. Because
I'm learning by doing, actually. So I just put the activities together that I like to do, and I think they are good for the groups. And I don't know, it works.
And do you decide on the topics, or do you decide together as a group? How do you go about the topics?
I have a 10-week course. So the first 5 lessons were the topics were chosen by me, and I let the students decide about the topics for the second part of the lesson.
That's awesome.
For the course.
I love that. Okay, so more autonomy. As you go, you give them more autonomy.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And what is the feedback so far? They come prepared, so that's already great feedback. What else? Are they happy with the fact that just like you were back then? Oh my God, somebody opened a group for introverts. Thank you so much. Do they tell you this?
Yes, they told me exactly what you said. And I got also some negative feedback, but I think it was because they didn't understand the concept. So I got it wasn't a complaint, but it was a comment from one of the students that she wanted to do some grammar. And I before, or when I was promoting the course, I said everywhere that there's no grammar, no exercises, no explaining. And she knew that, but she also wrote me that she wants some grammar in the course.
Change it for me. Change it for me. The whole course, just for me.
Yeah, so I obviously didn't do that. I just told her that thank you for your comment. I considered it, but it's not the purpose of this course.
So it's purely conversation and vocab based, right?
Yes.
Okay. And do you give them homework, or how does it work? Do they do anything in between apart from you sending them the worksheets so that they would be prepared?
I don't give them homework because it's not the purpose of the course. The purpose is to get rid of the fear of speaking and to gain confidence in English. But after each lesson, I write feedback in Google document, and there's a section where I write the good stuff that they said during the lesson. Then there's a vocabulary part where I write all the words and phrases they didn't know or they asked about. There's also a mistake section. I don't call it mistake, but there are right sentences that wasn't exactly right, and I write how they should be. correctly. And also there's a pronunciation section where I write all the words they pronounce incorrectly, and I give there a link to Cambridge Dictionary so they can play it and listen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jenny will be pleased, if she listens to this. We have had a lot of discussions before and after her webinar. I also talk about pronunciation with her on LinkedIn. I think it's such an important part of, and you know it from your own experience, with pronunciation, such an important part of our lessons to include pronunciation in whatever way, but do include it, please, because English is different from the written form, very, very different, very irregular. So pronunciation section, very useful. Yeah. Okay. And do you review the next time you meet, or how do you go about that? Do you review the previous lesson? Do you have some activities for that, or you just open the new topic?
I just open new topic. That's a good point, actually. Maybe I should do a review. I will think about it.
Maybe at the end of the course, something like in a fun, like a Kahoot, or in a fun way to practice what they learned. Yeah. Are you planning to continue with this? What are you mentioned you have some exciting plans. How about this? Are you happy with it? You want to continue?
Yes, I will. I will open new groups in, I don't know, January or February. But I will change it a bit because I learned many things. So I definitely will not open groups of 2.
Yes. Okay, that's one. What else? What else will you do differently?
I will shorten it because now I have 10 weeks, and I feel like they made the most progress from in the first half, in first 5 weeks, and I'm not sure if the other lessons will have the impact.
But you don't know yet because that's happening now.
Yes, I'm just thinking about the idea of 8-week course.
Okay.
Not 10, but 8. And I also learned that I have to explain everything and anything. So, for example, this week, on Tuesday, in my Tuesday group, they told me that they thought that I did feedback only for the first lesson, the Google document, because I sent the link after the first lesson, and I told them the link stays the same. Please save it somewhere, and the feedback is going to be there the next day. But they didn't save it, and they didn't go to the document after the other lessons. So I learned that I have to
remind them.
Remind them, send the link after every single lesson, for example, and to say everything, because the people just don't know.
Yeah, we all have busy lives, and we don't pay attention to everything. And I have so much experience with this, you have no idea. Now you're gonna open new groups in January or beginning of February. I definitely recommend not the first half of January.
Yeah.
People are still tired from Christmas, and they don't think in that way. But they can see your promotion for sure, beginning of January, yes. And then they can sign up for something that starts at the end of January or even beginning of February. I had more success with courses that actually started, the group courses, it's different than individual courses, but group courses, if they started at on the 1st of February, 5th of February, much better than the 20th of January, for example. So you'll see. Ladies, if you have any questions about the groups that Hanka teaches, please don't hesitate to ask. Even if you're watching the recorded version, I'm sure that Hanka will be more than happy to share maybe other things that she's been thinking of changing. But now I want to ask about the future. You mentioned that you have some exciting new projects. Can you share with us? And we can cheer you on and support you in that.
Yes, so I'm preparing a new section for my course for Maturita, for
Okay.
didaktický test.
Didakťák, yeah, that's your thing as well, I know.
Yeah. So I'm preparing a whole new section with the most frequent grammar in the tests, because that I got feedback from the students that I have there, and they told me that they would like me to explain some grammar, even though I'm already doing it in the tests explanations, but they want it in one place.
Yeah.
So I have already recorded 12 videos for this section, and I'm preparing ebook for them with the exercises from the test that they can download, and they can practice the grammar there. And I'm also preparing a new paid ebook, again for Maturita, but for the written part, for essays. And there I will describe, I don't know how to say it in English, how to write different types of texts. So, for example, story, essay, email, and so on. And then there will be also one good text and one bad text or incorrect text for each of the type. And then there I will explain why this is bad, why this is good, and so on.
Sounds fantastic. Yeah, paid.
Yes. I don't actually want to do anything more for free, because I feel like I do quite a lot.
I agree. That's why I like to hear that it's going to be paid. Yeah. And they will gladly pay for this, I'm sure, because from what I've seen, you really help the high schoolers a lot. So definitely a few hundreds, yeah, everybody can afford it, and it's so helpful. Hani, it sounds like you have a lot of projects and you're really enjoying your freelancing journey. Yeah?
Yes, I love it.
Can you imagine being employed by a school or, I don't know, working for some company?
No, absolutely not. I have a problem with the project manager thing that I do in the startup, because I'm not the leader there. It's another person, and I like doing things my way. But in this project isn't mine, so I have to sometimes just shut up and listen. And yeah, the things are not going in my way, and it's a problem for me.
I always say we are unemployable as freelancers. That's why we're freelancers, right?
Exactly.
And, however, as we discussed at the very beginning, you get a lot of help. Yeah, you get help from your partner. You get help from your cousin. Was that your partner's cousin, your cousin?
No, it was my partner's sister.
Partner sister, sorry. So sister-in-law, future sister-in-law, yeah. Anybody else who helps you with other technical things? Maybe do you delegate other activities?
Yes, I started this year. It was because of you, or thanks to you, because I wanted to have articles on my blog, on my website. So I needed a copywriter, because I didn't have time, and I still don't have time to do it. So in summer, I had a copywriter to help me write it. And now I'm working with a marketer, because in winter and in spring, I want to promote my Maturita course. So we are working on the ads, and she will do the technical stuff in Facebook ads because I don't really understand it.
And you're already doing so much, so you don't have to do everything, do you?
No, and I can't actually.
And how does it feel when you said you like to have control over things, and now you have other people helping you? How does that feel? It's a different feeling than being the project manager, but not the leader, right? It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay because it's still my project and I still do it my way. Because I tell the people what they are going to do and they do it as I tell them. It's not the other way around. So I tell my boyfriend's sister I want this post, and she does it, and it's like she sends it to me, I say yes, okay, this is absolutely all right, and or I'd say no, I don't like it, do it differently.
Okay, so delegating, yeah, that definitely helps. It's my thing. So yeah, I always recommend delegating the activities that you're not good at, but you can see that would really help your business. And you feel it was a good decision to have a copywriter for your blog, for example?
Yes, of course.
You're happy with that? Yeah? Okay. All right.
Because if I hadn't, I don't know how to say it. If I hadn't had the copywriter, I wouldn't have had the articles on my website because I don't have time to write it, and it will be just empty. So.
And how does she know how to write an article if she's not an English teacher? I suppose she's not an English teacher, right?
No, she's not.
So how do you work with her? That's interesting.
Because it wasn't an actual article. I sent her my YouTube videos that I wanted to like have on my blog, and she watched the video and write an article from it.
Perfect. That is very inspiring for others, I think. So ladies, think about this, yeah, because this is basically recycling what you've already created, and you get help from somebody who is a professional copywriter, so they know how to do this, and then they write, but the ideas are yours. Okay, I was wondering how you do that. Hani, we are done. This is it. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, I'm feeling absolutely amazing, to be honest. I was so nervous before the interview. My hands were shaking and I was sick actually. But now I'm just glad that I did it.
And I'll say, I told you so.
Yeah, I know.
So, Hani, last question. Why do you love teaching English so much? What is it about teaching English that fulfills you and that keeps you going and that you create all this stuff? Why do you love it so much? And look, we have, yes, this is from Petya, your classmate, right? From one of the groups, Vara's groups.
Yes, yes. I love to learn the people's stories. So if it's in individual class or now the group classes, I love to learn about their life, about their experience, about what they like to do, about, I don't know, their work, whatever they do. And I also love to see their progress and their journey. And it's a great feeling, like, to know that you help them on their way. That because, or thanks to me, they, I don't know, achieved this. They are not so shy anymore. They are not afraid to show themselves and to start speaking English. It's such an incredible feeling.
I agree. Same. So, Hani, I want to wish you all the best with all your projects, with your language learning and teaching journey, because you're always learning. You are so into new technologies and always doing new things. And I think this is the best way to success. So I wish you to be even more successful than you already are. You are a star, just like Petya says, you rock. So now you also know how to do live interviews, so you can tick that box. Yeah. And I am really glad that you joined us and that you're here with us, and we can be inspired by you and at the same time support you on your journey. And it's a pleasure. And it's been a pleasure to do this interview with you. And I hope that you have only good feelings now about doing interviews, and you'll have a fantastic weekend and feel the adrenaline from this. Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me. As I said, I was so afraid, but it actually felt great.
You did great. You did great. So, thank you for doing this interview. Ladies, thank you for watching. Please ask questions even when you watch the recorded version. Barcha is here. Hi, Baru. We mentioned you several times. I see she's watching. So make sure, Baru, you watch the whole interview, because Hanka mentioned you several times, how inspiring you were. And yeah, I'll see you in another webinar next week already about LinkedIn. Yeah, not your platform, but other people's. So maybe I will convince you, ladies, that that's a good platform too. You'll see, because videos are really big on LinkedIn now, and you like to network with other teachers. So make sure you watch that one and maybe rethink. Yeah. Well, good luck to you, Hani. Good luck to everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week in another webinar. Ciao. Bye.
Bye bye.